Hey everybody, I'm Quinn.
I'm Scott, and it's time for the Almost Friday Show for March 31st, 2011.
And off the press, we're bringing a review of the movie Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Dave's reviewing Ultimate X number 5 from the gutters.
In Tech Insight, we're checking out Amazon's new cloud sharing service.
Yeah, so finally they've gone and shipped a streaming service ahead of Apple, ahead of Google, but they didn't really make sure it was legal first, so we'll tell you about that.
There's just going to be more people asking, where's the cloud?
Yeah, it's a good question. Confusing a lot of people.
It's true, they actually think it's in the cloud.
Yeah. And Sean's telling us about these crazy new beans you can maybe get, hopefully soon, that will cool down your coffee and keep it warm all at the same time.
And behind the lens, we're checking out a review of the Canova Skater Dolly.
Without further ado, it's time for Off the Press.
Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Press. We're starting it off with some more news about Wonder Woman. Slightly less or more cheesy, depending on how you look at it.
So last week we told you about the brand new costume that NBC unveiled for the Wonder Woman pilot. Dave and I thought it was to oh my god terrible. So it appears that they've listened to their fans, and a couple of pictures have leaked or been released this week that shows a redone outfit that...
Well, the first one had really shiny pants as well as shiny boots,
which were the
and
same color
they were
as the
high-heeled. It seemed sort of unusable.
Yeah.
The new one, she looks like she's wearing jeans of sorts, and she's got red boots that aren't high-heeled. A little bit more functional outfit.
Of all the complaints that I read about the old costume, those were like the main two that I read over and over and over again. Like the pants are too bright and too shiny, and the boots need to be a different color or red, like they usually are. So... kind of good that NBC listened to the
Well,
fans,
I mean, the thing is, though, that I feel like the current costume is just, it's cheesy. Like, I don't know that I want to watch a show where the superhero looks like that. It's kind of a 90s thing, and I feel like we're beyond that in television. It's too cartoony, almost.
Yeah.
And I feel like the original one, because it was a little bit flashier and a little bit shinier, was maybe a bit more modernized than the more traditional outfit she has now. And, you know, as much as I understand that the boots probably should have been a different color and everything, yeah. I don't feel that this is better. It's more traditional, but I feel like it's maybe a step backwards in trying to modernize the shows. So, you know.
But also, we're just seeing stills right now. Maybe with all the posts and stuff, it will look a lot better. But to be honest, I probably won't watch the show because I don't like Wonder Woman. And it's also a pilot, so things could be completely different in the first actual episode if it actually does get picked up.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So Doctor Who has announced their full-length trailer, and we've got some video to show you. It's pretty cool.
It's really epic. Last week we also talked about a prequel that was gonna show the day after we recorded. Unfortunately, we can't see the official prequel here in Canada, just because it's blocked, but I'm sure there are other ways of finding it. Just saying.
The trailer looks pretty epic. There seems to be a lot of development into River's character, what role she plays, as well as the Doctor talking about not wanting to run from everybody anymore, and so there might be some sort of climactic fight that happens. It could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're a Doctor Who fan, this looks to be quite an entertaining season.
And it's set to start on the 23rd of April in the US and the UK. Still no word on Canada. But the Space Channel has said that they will be putting out a press release with all the release details soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
So finally, our review of Source Code. Sam and I got a chance to see it this week at a pre-screening. And I think our summary really is it's kind of meh. The movie stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Michelle Monaghan, and the premise is around a soldier who has the ability to go back into time and relive 8 minutes in sort of an alternate reality and attempt to find the man who is trying to bomb a train. It's got some interesting sort of scientific premises to it, but then...
It's a neat premise, but it's been done a million times in not only just sci-fi, but in recent sci-fi. So it's like... it's kind of cool for a non-sci-fi audience.
I think my problem is sort of the suspension of disbelief issue, is that initially, you know, okay, if you go, okay, I'll accept that they can go back and relive this 8 minutes, you can kind of get over that, and then they talk about how it's the shadows of that 8 minutes, so you can't really change the future. Because
I'm okay with all the sci-fi aspects. So
yeah.
It's just the story is
The problem
really
for me,
bland.
though, was that near the end of the movie, it started changing what could actually happen,
Yeah.
and then it started to get a little unrealistic. So I felt they kind of broke past what I could reasonably suspend disbelief on. If you're looking for an interesting sci-fi action movie, it's not a bad movie by any purposes, but you know, I don't necessarily think you need to see it in the theaters.
Yeah, the acting was all right.
There's nothing special about the
there's
acting.
nothing, just like we said about everything else about this movie. There's nothing special about it. It's just a decent movie if you want to go on a cheap night or even just download it.
So if I were to give it a review, I'd say 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's right in the middle. It's not
2
terrible.
maybe.
I wouldn't pay for it, but
All right, and finally, this week's new releases. Obviously, Source Code is one of them.
Yep.
As well as what looks to be a pretty good thriller horror film called Insidious, which looks like
Trailers look pretty freaky, and there's like a big Darth Maul looking demon thing in the trailers.
it could be pretty interesting. So if you're a horror fan, I think it's gonna be good.
And on DVD and Blu-ray this week, we got Disney's Tangled.
Which was apparently a good movie.
It's available in 3D, as well as all the regular formats. And we also have IMAX Hubble, also available in 3D, as well as the regular formats. Which is kind of what IMAX is doing more and more of nowadays. They're releasing their big theater movies in 3D, since people can actually watch them at home now. Yay.
In games this week, we've got Need for Speed Shift 2 Unleashed. That's a follow-up to Need for Speed's first sort of track-based racing game, as opposed to all their sort of street racing games. The first one was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it a lot, so
Yeah.
hopefully the second one will be equally as entertaining. As well, 3DS, a bunch of new titles for it.
So now there's about 20, a little bit under or a little bit over 20 titles in all available for the 3DS. And there was also a NASCAR game and some golf thing released.
If you really love going left, NASCAR 2011 is available. And if you're a NASCAR fan, it's apparently supposed to be one of the best games yet that they've made. Very immersive, very
Yeah.
realistic, lots of turning left.
But in all seriousness, the new Tiger Woods game apparently has been reviewed really high, looks gorgeous.
all the
that
Tiger
stuff.
Woods games have always been
Yeah.
pretty decent games.
And
Again, if you're a golf fan.
Obviously, it's available for the PlayStation Move, I think Kinect as well, and the Wii.
Yes.
So,
It was big on the Wii with
Yeah.
their Wii Motion Plus.
yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, pick it up because it looks really pretty at least.
All right, that wraps up Off the Press for this week.
Hello everyone, welcome to another week of From the Gutters. This week I'm going to be reviewing two books, Ultimate X, issue number 5, and Kick-Ass 2, issue number 2. Remember when the previous issues for these comics came out? That's kind of a joke because I don't either. It was so long ago. These two books I decided to review not for any other reason than, gosh, they're late. With the first book, Ultimate X, issue number 5. This is written by Jeff Loeb and illustrated by Arthur Adams. Two pretty legendary people in the comics industry. In this particular series, Ultimate X, what's happening is there's sort of a gathering of mutants, mostly sort of legacy mutants, who, and presumably to make a new kind of X-Men team. But they're not the X-Men. They don't have the big mansion. They don't have a jet. They don't have a whole bunch of money. It's a bunch of teen age. I guess they're all about in their teens, dealing with, well, whatever happens after this series. It's been months and months since the previous issue came out, and in this one, Arthur Adams art, and I'm 100% sure that it's Arthur Adams art that's holding up the show. Gorgeous artwork. I love his work, but oh my God, it's very frustrating when you have to go back, find your previous issues, which have already been filed in any sane system, and read those books so that you can, oh yeah, read this current issue. The story actually has been decent. Jeff Loeb's had sort of a 50-50 performance on the writing for anything in the Ultimate Universe. In this story, he seems to be doing a good job as a big setup. The artwork, like I said, gorgeous. It's suffering from time lag, though. It really needs to come out in a more timely fashion. Based solely on it being so ridiculously late, this comic gets a C-. Our next book, Kick-Ass 2, issue number 2, I don't know what's holding this one up. John Romita Jr. is legendarily fast at getting stuff done. Mark Miller typically has everything done, ready to go. Who's holding up the show? I don't know. If I had to guess, and I do, it's Mark Miller holding everything up. Kick-Ass 2, this is the second issue that came in this week, deals with what happens after Kick-Ass. The movie, if people didn't read the book, was not entirely faithful to the comic in what I thought were important ways, but generally you got the idea of what was going on. In the comic book, this follow-up deals with Mindy being with her new guardian, and sort of the follow-up as well for David Lazuski, who is Kick-Ass, who's having to deal with life being a superhero, well, being a hero, I guess, and still trying to hide it from his father. He meets up with a group of other self-proclaimed heroes in costumed heroes, I guess is really what it would be, and they're determined to turn crime around in the city where they're living. In this particular issue, they go up against their first big group of bad guys. I don't know what to say about the story. It's so fast. It's a really fast read. It's about a 5-minute book, and it doesn't feel like it's worth $3. Would I recommend it? I recommend it if you enjoyed Kick-Ass. If you didn't enjoy Kick-Ass, don't bother with Kick-Ass 2, because it's just more of the same thing. The artwork, John Romita Jr.'s artwork, I'm not a big John Romita fan, with a few exceptions. His work is pretty standard. There's actually a little more work done on the coloring, and that has actually made it nicer, easier to work with in terms of reading the panels and getting the story told. What do I give this book? I give this book a C- as well. That is less because it was so late. It should not have been that late. But it's less because it was late and more because the story I found is lacking. And I'm not such a big John Romita Jr. fan that I really need another John Romita Jr. book to look for. So, there we go. 2 C-, not a great week. But next week, we're going to be talking about a little bit of lightning round. That's it. I'm Dave. Talk to you soon.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tech Insight. We're starting it off with some quasi-political domain name news.
Yeah, so this has kind of been all over the Twitters in the last couple days. Basically, the CEO from
I think it's
GoDaddy
Bob Parsons.
did something he probably shouldn't have. And now a bunch of people are going, oh, no, pull your domains off GoDaddy. And in fact, other companies are offering discounts if you transfer to them from GoDaddy.
Yeah. So the story here is that the CEO of GoDaddy likes to go on hunting trips in Zimbabwe, in which he supposedly shoots problem elephants. Now, this could be legitimate. These elephants like to trample on the crops of the locals, and unfortunately, a place like Zimbabwe is very impoverished, so if you don't have your crops, you're likely shit out of luck.
Yeah, you're not eating.
So what they do is they go and essentially hunt bull elephants that are disrupting crops, and then subsequently, the locals then eat the elephant because there's a lot of meat on an elephant. It's a big animal. But unfortunately, the video that he posted is sort of...
Not great.
It's not great.
Yeah.
It's kind of poorly done, and it makes the matters worse because there's some trophy shots where he's standing there with his gun over the elephant, which just kind of make him look like a douchebag. And he has quotes like, it's the most rewarding thing he does every year, and he's really helping these people. Now, ultimately, he could definitely be helping these people. And there is... People are going on about how elephants are endangered, but there is definitely cases where there's lots of elephants, and they could be disrupting local people. So there's probably an element of truth to what he's doing from a philanthropic point of view, which is what he's positioning it as. But ultimately, it's a really fine line.
Kind of the thing where you go, I'm going to make this public. And then everyone at your company goes, no, no, don't. But it's really, look, they're going to love me because I'm doing this. And then, no,
don't do it, but then he does it anyways.
Yeah, so maybe, do that if that's what you want to do.
So the better majority of the comments on the GoDaddy page where the video is, and subsequently on articles that have posted afterwards, are lots of outrage from customers or people who are either thinking of becoming GoDaddy customers or who are and now will not be. He responded saying that ultimately he thinks that the better majority of people aren't going to care enough, because why should politics have anything to do with buying domain names? And I understand that, because I'm a GoDaddy customer, and I'm not about to go and uproot all my domain names because of this. I don't care enough. Maybe I'm a bad person for not caring, but he shot an elephant. You know,
it's like, if he had gone and killed a man.
If he had blown up a building of people,
okay, that's different.
But I've got some issues with that.
Let's say he goes and commits some crimes. That doesn't mean the company's not. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's he helped develop the company and he's a big figure there, but they're not. That doesn't mean the company pays him to go shoot elephants.
It's true.
So I don't.
I mean, most people have been saying he should be, the money he spent on the trip he could have just given to the, the country to do things with.
Also true.
But ultimately, there's the argument then that there's all kinds of corrupt money usage and stuff like that. So it's been a thing in the news. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion of it.
Of course. Yeah.
I think our collective agreement was he probably shouldn't have posted the video,
No.
but ultimately neither of us care enough to do anything about it.
No.
So there's your political news for the day.
I want to keep you up on the what's what.
Yeah.
Also exciting this week, Amazon actually shipped out of nowhere this cloud streaming service.
Yes, which looks pretty cool.
It looks pretty cool. If you're an American, let's get this out of the way first.
We have to be honest. Everything good about Amazon happens in the United States and nowhere else.
Yeah. So even if you go to the American site, they IP locate you.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it through a proxy yet. I might do that later.
Well, it's the same way in which you can't go and buy their music on the Amazon site.
Or really anything.
That's true.
Yeah. But so basically, what happened was earlier this week there was some rumors, very, very loose rumors, that Amazon was putting something together. The next day they shipped it. That's better than Apple.
Yes.
In terms of rumor control lately, so that's kind of impressive. So basically, it's 5 gigs of cloud storage. So basically, you can put your Amazon purchases in there, so your Amazon MP3s, or you can just upload MP3s you already own.
Yes.
There's no restrictions on that. You can put whatever MP3s you want up there, up to 5 gigs, and then you can access them from anywhere. So if I'm at your place and I want to show you a song I have, I can whip it up, or on my Android phone.
We don't know whether there's going to be an iOS app because
I'm willing to say no.
Because Apple won't want them to compete on that level.
Yeah, especially since it'd probably be integrated with some kind of Amazon MP3 store.
Yes.
Kind of thing. You can, if you really, really want to, use the web version on your iOS device.
Yeah.
But it's flaky at best.
It's not the ideal solution.
No. So really you want an Android phone because it's all built into the app and it's very nice and that kind of thing. So it's actually not a unique service. There are other companies doing this. But what Amazon's fallen under scrutiny for is that they didn't actually change any of their agreements with any of the music providers like Sony or any of those guys.
Yeah.
Which is why everyone's thinking they got it out so quickly. Because Apple and Google have been working on this literally for years. They've been touting that they're going to get this. But I think it's really hard to nail down those agreements. And I think Amazon just said, ship it.
Yeah.
Amazon's a big company and they do a lot of smart things. So I have a feeling.
Well, okay,
I don't know about that.
I feel like if iTunes couldn't play that card of just do it and people will cave to it because we're friggin' iTunes. I feel like if iTunes doesn't feel ballsy enough to do that, then Amazon shouldn't because they're still a step behind iTunes as far as number of users.
That's not really Apple's attitude.
I suppose.
They like to have the people in their back pocket because they're Apple. They don't want to force it.
I guess.
They force it behind the scenes as opposed to in public.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't really think Amazon's really that kind of company either, but I think they're more likely to do it than somebody like Apple. But I don't know, I think it's really bizarre because I know Sony came out with reps and said, hey, that's not legal.
Well, Sony's always the first to jump on everything. I mean,
yes.
They're suing people who hack the PlayStation 3 like that's some sort of legitimate thing.
Yeah, Sony likes...
Sony likes lawsuits, yeah.
So not a lot has come of this. I think it's going to take a long time to fill out, but you can still get on it. If you have an Amazon account, you don't have to have ever purchased MP3s. You can get on there. It's called the cloud service right there. Really easy to access. The interface is pretty good. Their cloud... I don't know. I think it's a really cool service. But again, as soon as a cool service ships without the music industry getting more money, they don't like it and they kind of attack it. So we'll see where this goes. The only other thing I wanted to point out is that if 5 gigs isn't enough for you, if you buy one album from Amazon, on their MP3 store, you get 20 gigs.
Wow, that seems like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, one album.
Like $10 for an extra 15 gigs.
The price is right. Free.
If you buy another album,
no,
No.
it stops it.
that's too bad.
Yeah, but still, that 20 gigs.
20
is
gigs is a decent amount of music.
Yeah, I mean
that's more than most people have.
that's more than the stock iPhone.
True.
So I mean, and most of the iPods. So that it's something to think about. But no love for the iOS, which really completely disinterested me. Because I was like, sweet clouds. Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I can't use it anywhere. But if you are an American, you have an Amazon, I would say check it out because it's pretty cool.
Google's decided that they want to jump on Facebook's bandwagon and give people the option to like things.
In the weirdest way.
But instead of calling it a like button, it's a +1 button.
So the problem I have with this, the premise, you have to have a Google account, which everybody does. It needs to be a public account. And I don't know what that means. Because I don't know how you control that. What becomes
Yeah.
public when you have a public Google account?
you have to be signed up for Google Buzz.
Yeah, which doesn't exist anymore.
No,
Buzz is still
does.
there.
It's-
But the
it's-
other thing that sucked, Wave. Yeah. So
I like how doing this brought us to that.
yeah, it was good. So if you have a public Google account, basically, if you're going down in your search results and you've read this site and that's a good site, you click the +1 button, which is beside the search result.
Yeah.
Then if you search it, and we're contacts on Google, it'll say, here's the search result, Scott +1's this. And I'm like, okay, well, that's exactly the same as the like service, except it doesn't have a giant social network behind it. It has people who don't use Google accounts for this.
Although I do like the idea that when you go to the search page, it's going to show you results first that other people might have liked.
Yeah.
Whereas Facebook really just shows you what people like as opposed to suggesting things you're looking for that other people would have liked
Yeah,
as well.
I think the integration is good. I think in terms of results you're getting.
I think the implementation is better than Facebook's like button, but the structure in which it's
Yeah.
based on is
Yeah.
too small.
And much more useful, I think. than
Yes.
Google's. But no. First of all, I have 4 Google accounts. I don't know how to go make it public, and I don't know what that means because I don't like Buzz because no one's on it.
It's true. And this really seems like unless you're using Buzz, this is probably largely irrelevant.
Yeah. So I tried to figure it out briefly. Got nowhere. I'm sure if I delved into it a little harder, Google's not a UI company at all. So I'm sure it's there. If you're really into the Google, if you use Google Chat a lot and things like that, this might be for you because you probably have a lot of Google contacts, things like that. But Google +1, check it out if you want a little face liking on your search, I guess.
We told you before that Canadians like to consume lots of Netflix bandwidth, and it's more so because Netflix takes a huge amount of bandwidth,
Yeah. Gig an hour.
which was getting people in trouble with their ISPs.
Yeah, so I don't know if you viewers know, but in Canada we have these things called bandwidth caps. No, that's not due to the usage-based billing thing we've been talking about in America. I've heard many podcasts have said, oh, they're just getting caps now. No, we've had caps for a very long time.
I have an account from 10 years ago that doesn't have a cap, and I'm the only one here that doesn't.
Yeah,
But my account is 10 years old.
we've had caps for quite a while. It's not a new thing in Canada, but it is frustrating.
It is.
Because they just go down, they don't go up. So Netflix has really been pushing their Canadian service, which I like. Because when it first shipped, I was like, oh, there's nothing on here.
And now there's a pretty decent amount.
Yeah, they just signed a deal with Paramount, actually, but...
I mean, we were talking the other day, and I I don't have a Netflix account anymore. I did my free month trial and stopped. But he's looking through his queue, and I'm like, oh, I'd watch that, and I'd watch that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'd watch that. There's a lot more that I'm now interested in. They're doing a good job of filling their shelves.
At my house, all my roommates and I, we don't have TV. We have Netflix, and it works like I come home at night and it's on, right? So they're doing something right, and they're really pushing it. So what they've done to help Canadians, specifically, I don't know if they rolled this out in America or not. It was kind of hard to say they had Canadian all up in the press release, but it was kind of hard to tell. But basically, they've rejiggered their streaming, so you're going to lose a tidbit of quality. I didn't notice when they changed, but I've been watching a lot of like TV and anime as opposed to movies.
Yeah.
But basically, the default setting now use 2/3 less bandwidth per hour than you did before.
Which is a substantial chunk.
So like those 30 hours that might be 30 plus gigs are now 9 gigs, which is, okay, 30 hours is probably more than most people are going to watch in a month.
It's true.
And 9 gigs fits reasonably within most decent caps. And if you got a 2 gig cap, you shouldn't be using Netflix. But like some people do.
Yeah.
But if you've got a 50-68 cap, that's more reasonable than what it was before. So I think it's really nice for Netflix to go and make that effort to make their service more appealing to Canadians.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you and I, both being video editors, we know that you can throw away about 60% of the information in a video file without really seeing any huge difference
Especially
in
for
picture
web.
quality.
I mean,
yeah,
you can,
absolutely.
So I mean, if you are, a quality freak and you do happen to have unlimited bandwidth, you can go in and crank it back up.
Well, because that's the thing is, I read this and I'm like, oh, now I don't have as good quality, and it doesn't matter to me.
But there are 3 settings. I think it's like low, medium, and high or something. I think
Yeah.
there's a little more detail in the settings menu. But if you do want to crank it back up to where it was, you can. I think the only time I noticed was when I was watching on a PC.
Yeah.
When I was watching on my TV.
Well, you don't have a high def TV, right?
No, I don't.
So I have a high def TV. I think I'd probably have a better.
Yeah.
I would see it more.
I
than
did
you
notice
do.
it on my 1080p computer monitor.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's better than flash streaming video still.
For sure.
So, if you can live with that, if not, you can go and pay up for the extra bandwidth. So thank you, Netflix.
All right, and that wraps it up for Tech Insight for this week.
It's kind of alive.
Nah, it's still dead.
Oh. Hi everyone, welcome to Mad Science. Once again, we are here talking about sciencey crap that seems to get mad. And gets
It's
kind of weird.
Not that mad this week, actually. It's pretty cool. Well,
Yeah,
warm.
yeah.
So what we got this...
Yay, temperature change jokes. Aye.
So what we got this week is a product called a Joule. So a joule as in the unit of measure, which is basically a magic metal coffee bean about yay big, the size of a walnut, a little bit smaller.
Pretty big size thing.
Squash walnut that you put inside your hot beverage. It doesn't have to be just coffee. And what it does is that it absorbs the heat from your too hot to drink coffee, so that cools it down. But once it's done cooling it down, it'll use that absorbed heat to keep your coffee at an optimal drinking temperature.
So it's kind of neat. They won't tell you what is inside of
It
it.
is proprietary.
Proprietary phase change material.
Yep.
To which Scott, every time we say phase change material, starts to rage a little and twitch. But that's fine. He's a chemist. He can
On
do
the
that.
outside, it is food grade stainless steel.
Yes.
So basically, the company that are making this, they started a Kickstarter fund
Yeah.
recently, and then
Completely shot past what they were
basically
looking
blew
for.
up. So you can buy a pack of 5 beans for $40.
Yeah, and then you can buy the coffee shop, was it?
Yeah, which is basically a case of pack of 5 beans for
It's
about
20 bags, I think.
for about $500. Yeah. So this is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a neat idea, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have seen this before. They called it the perfect whiskey rock or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's the whiskey
Yeah, it's a
on
whiskey
ice.
stone.
Yeah, it's
And like
on
it-
the rocks. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's literally a cube that looks like it's made of like granite.
Ha ha ha.
If it's not actually, but either way, it keeps the temperature of your beverage at whatever
An
optimal
optimal
drinking
drinking-
temperature it is supposed to be at.
Yeah.
So it's a neat idea because no one has actually ever done it for coffee.
Nope, not yet. So,
So it's kind of neat.
and this is something we're talking about in science that's actually happening soon.
Yes, although there is something that has already happened.
That's very true. 6 years in the making, actually.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's taken that long, but whatever. It's NASA.
Yep.
So recently, NASA, launched a probe.
Woohoo.
And this probe didn't just go out into the solar system. It actually went to a place in particular, which was Mercury.
Yep. This probe is called, and this is a very good NASA name for you. If we had graphics, we would show it out. It's a lot easier. But
Oh,
for now,
God.
just click the show notes. Called the Mercury Surface Space Environment Geochemistry and Ranging Probe.
Or messenger, which I'm pretty sure we've already had a messenger probe. I'm pretty sure.
This one is specifically for Mercury, though.
Yeah.
So what is very cool about this probe is that not only is it taking colored photos of Mercury, it's taking photos of the side of Mercury that we
I've never seen.
can't really see easily.
But I have one thing. And colored pictures of Mercury, it's gray.
Yeah, it's slightly bluish gray,
Yeah.
kind of
So-
moon-like.
I mean, if I were to look at it, being untrained, of course, I'd
Yeah.
look at it and go, our color part of our camera's screwed. Crap.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we broke
Well,
the color.
There's $16 billion down the tubes. Oh, well. But they are high definition pictures.
Yeah.
They are for looking at a rock that sits the closest to the sun and is literally baked and boiled and ravaged by the temperatures daily for us, it's actually quite interesting to see these pictures because we've never seen them as detailed as this.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe the Voyager probes glanced past them and took a couple pictures, but I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me on that.
I'm pretty sure there's been a couple of probes that have taken a couple of other pictures for the other 45% of the planet we have seen. So
It's all flybys, though.
Yeah.
This it should be mentioned. This
orbiting.
probe is it's in orbit. It's not going anywhere.
So
it will
in
stay
the
there.
months and years to come, we're going to have lots of awesome Mercury pictures and
Data.
probably new discoveries.
Yeah. So it'll be kind of interesting.
Awesome.
And then
And now bringing it back to Earth,
yeah.
got this one
God.
that's been making the rounds on the internet and the on podcasts and blogs lately.
I'm getting so many puns.
Hey, come on.
Oy. But anyway, yeah, this one's been kind of interesting. Some researchers at MIT, those wonderful crazy people, have come up with an artificial leaf, which is an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Because essentially what this thing is doing is, the practical upshot, you take this so-called artificial leaf,
Which is about the size of a pack of cards.
yeah, you throw it into water,
A gallon or so.
and you apply sunlight, which then causes it to release both hydrogen and oxygen. So they're calling it some sort of artificial photosynthesis, which is actually working, I can't remember, I have it right here in front of me, however. It's working, well, a hell of a lot better than regular photosynthesis.
Yeah.
Can't really get you a number on it because there's not much details yet.
Right now, it's roughly 10 times the efficiency of photosynthesis, but as with most things we talk about here, scientists, they're talking about trying to improve it further and further and further.
And the whole idea, and you can check our show notes, you'll get to the IO9 page that has this. However, you can also click in from their article to the MIT article. There's not a lot there right now. But the practical upshot is they want it to help they want to use it to generate energy, of course.
Yeah, to power homes.
Yeah. And they're saying that right now with this prototype,
Yeah,
it could
one
power
leaf-
a house. Well, one leaf
One
can
leaf
do a
and
day.
1 gallon of water can power a house for
A day.
approximately a day.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's really good for a first step, because if you can imagine this thing getting better, one leaf could power it for 2 days, then a week, then a
Yeah.
month, then I think you need more than that for a year. However, this is a great step towards energy generation. Like I said, not a lot of detail, but we're going to keep an eye on it.
Yep.
Like a lot of things.
This is very, very much prototype phase and
Yeah.
very much speculating on how awesome this could become.
But check back with us in about probably 3 months, and we'll have to come back to this story.
Yep.
Just like we have for a lot of the other ones. But so that kind of wraps it up for this week. We have things to keep your coffee at the perfect temperature, a planet that we can now see all angles of that is definitely not at the perfect temperature, and then a way of generating power using, once again, the sun.
To make coffee in the morning.
Oh God.
We brought this segment
Full
right
circle.
around.
This doesn't happen often, folks. Mark this on your calendar. That wraps it up for science this week.
Hey everybody, welcome behind the lens for this week. First up, a little news from Vimeo. For your iPhone, they finally came out with an official Vimeo app, and it's not just to watch videos.
It's true. We've all been waiting for Vimeo app
Yeah.
because, well, iOS has been around for quite some time now.
and let's be honest, it's not the most smooth experience in the browser.
No. And the thing is that Vimeo is probably the second most popular place to go and watch videos,
Yeah.
especially if you're looking for more artistic content, because there's a little less of the sort of, here's my dog jumping on the
Yeah,
trampoline YouTube video.
You don't
kind
see
of
the
stuff.
funny meme videos coming out. It's kind of a more serious video site.
Yeah, it's a really great place to go to watch some good content. It's where we host all of our videos too, so we like them. So Vimeo has decided to finally come up with an app, but they wanted to make it not just a place to go and watch the videos, but a place to go and upload your videos, which is great. But they can't expect that you're going to already own a video editor for your iPhone, so they gave you one.
For free.
For free, so that's the big thing, is that the application is free, which is awesome, and it does have a pretty decent editor, and it allows you to put clips together, change transitions, put text in, do your Ken Burns effect. You can export it in HD, you can save it to the camera roll, but what's really neat is that Vimeo knows that if you're on an iPhone or something like that, you're probably not always going to have the best connection.
Yeah.
So if you start uploading and the connection drops, it's going to pause your upload, and then when you're back in connection again, it's going to continue from where you left off.
Cool.
So they've really built it well. A lot lot of people have been criticizing it because they're like, I have to register. Well, yeah, because you're using Vimeo.
You need a Vimeo account.
You need
Shocker.
to have a Vimeo account to upload videos. Now, a lot of people just want to use it to watch and browse videos, and that's unfortunately where the app falls a little bit short, because as it presently stands, there is no search function. So you don't have any ability to search through videos. So it's really designed for someone who's already a Vimeo user. We're both Vimeo users, and I follow different groups of collections based on things that I like, based on cameras that I like shooting with. So when I go, I can look at my inbox, and there's a whole bunch of videos that it recommends that I watch based on the things that I follow as a user.
Which is good, and that's where I do the majority of my Vimeo time.
Absolutely.
But a search is still kind of something fundamental that, you know, I still do use in Vimeo fairly regularly.
So we're pretty hopeful that they're going to add search in the future, because it would definitely be beneficial.
Yeah.
But the app is really well designed. It's pretty, it's easy laid out, it's very easy to work and edit your videos, you can create projects. They've really put a lot into this single app. And you can go in and you can make comments, change your video settings, comment on other people's stuff, like stuff. You can look at the things that you have for watch later and the things you've liked. So you really get access to your full account. And what's neat as well is that you can go in, and if you've got videos on there, you can download the videos onto your phone. So you can download them from Vimeo right onto your phone as well, which then means you could throw them around and AirPlay them onto your television or things like that. Now, I've watched my own videos on Vimeo's mobile site, and honestly, the quality is a lot better using the application. So if you do have your own videos and you like to show people your videos from Vimeo, then the application is going to give you a cleaner picture when you're watching them. So overall, I mean, the thing is that it's free, and you get a video editor out of it. So even though they're lacking the search function at the present moment, it's still an awesome application.
I think the price of taking the 30 seconds you need to sign up for a Vimeo account is a lot better for your basic video editing needs. I mean, it's free. They've developed it for you. Would you rather pay the $5 and get iMovie, or take 30 seconds and sign up for an account? Like
that being said, I mean, the new version of iMovie definitely has more functionality.
For sure.
Than this editor does, but this editor at the present time is about as good as iMovie was about a month ago. So they have put a lot into it. So again, you know, it's free, and like you're saying,
if you're looking for basic kind of stuff, I mean, it's what you need.
So the second part that we are talking about today is a review of another Canova product. We brought you the review of their slider, which we really liked. And now we have their Skater Dolly, which is another really awesome product, I should say, if you're shooting some video. Because you might want to do a really cool long tracking shot where someone's walking down a hall, or you might want to do some sort of movement around an item or things like that, which can be expensive if you want to buy big dollies to do that kind of stuff. So this is designed as sort of the poor man's long distance dolly. It works off of a couple of skateboard wheels, which have nice bearings, which are very smooth, so when you are rolling it across, it doesn't jitter and everything like that. It's made of really nice, strong metal.
Yeah, the construction's really, really well done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very simple, but it's exactly what you need to get it done.
You were saying when you first looked at it that you felt it was a bunch of mechanical engineers that were making these things because they were rudimentary but worked really well.
Yeah, there's nothing flashy. It doesn't look fancy.
No.
But it does exactly what you need to get the shots.
It's really solidly built. The axles are strong. The middle plate is nice and thick. You could definitely put a camera with a decent rig and a monitor on this without feeling like it would flex or anything like that. They give you a 3/8 screw, which is a little bit bigger than the standard camera, so it is the anticipation you put a ball head or something on here. This works really nice with a ball head. But what's really cool is that you can adjust the angle of the wheels. You just loosen them off, and then you can tilt these wheels in. So that allows your dolly to do a certain movement if you want to circle around something, or if you want to roll it around a corner or something like that.
And we've been playing with it, and they do lock in quite good. Like, it's not going to shift back or anything while you're trying to do your movements. So.
Yeah. So we think it's a really great product. If you are looking for a cheap solution to be able to do some longer tracking shots, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we were thinking that, you can get kind of creative and you could mount a monopod or a light stand or something on here and then, be able to push the camera at a higher point. Obviously, it's not going to be the most stable thing, but it's a lot cheaper than buying a dolly track and having to try to set that up.
Yeah, because we come from we've got some gear, but we don't have all the gear. So, this can give you a lot of functionality for what it is, and I mean, the price point's relatively good.
Yeah, this guy you can pick up on their website for about $125, which I think is a decent price point considering it is really well-made construction.
Yeah.
You know what? You can go out and build this for sure, but you won't get something that's going to work quite as well without spending a decent amount of effort.
You can tell there's been some design into this, and if you don't build it yourself, you tend to lack the design, so you're going to have little problems, like the wheels will be slightly off balance or anything.
Plus, like our slider, they give you a really nice carry bag for it.
Yeah.
They're really good about packaging all their stuff really well and making sure that you have everything you need to be able to take this stuff out on a gig with you. I like that they give us bags because we always have to buy bags for all of our gear. So not having to buy more bags is always fun.
The only thing I think to be pointed out is because of the wheels, this is not an off-road dolly. Not that they're really, are off-road dollies. I mean, you generally need a fairly smooth
Yeah,
surface.
because I mean,
and
if you're gonna throw something off-road, it's gonna bounce all over the place,
Yeah.
and your video's gonna look like
you
garbage anyways.
You need a pretty smooth surface to get a really smooth shot. Don't expect it to, if you're going down a paved street or something, it's not going to be
It's
great.
going to jitter a bit. Any kind of hallways, in a building or
Would be
something,
perfect.
are great. It actually works pretty well on carpet
Yeah.
too. If you give it enough of a push on carpet, it's smooth on carpet as well. So you don't need to lay down like plywood or anything like that.
No, I think indoor shots, you're pretty much set to go. And I mean, even outdoor shots, if you did lay down a few sheets of plywood or something, or a couple 2x4s, you'd get the leveling you need.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, so another product from Canova and another thumbs up from us for decent low-cost filming tools.
That's it from Behind Lens this week.
All right, and that brings us to the end of the show this week. For all those people that were nice and sent Sean flowers, you can see he's recovering well from his near-death aneurysm.
Yeah, he
He bounces back.
he's very resilient that way.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can show him more Rebecca Black videos in the future.
Doesn't matter, you can't keep me down.
See, we're testing his resilience.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an experiment, mad science.
If you've got some stuff that you think he should watch that might cause him to have an aneurysm, you can send us that at contact@almostfridayshow.com.
And of course, if you want to contact us on Twitter as well, we're also taking aneurysm-causing suggestions on Twitter at almost_Friday.
So until next time, keep your eyes open for something that could kill Sean, because quite frankly, we want to see it too.
It ain't gonna happen.